Hello, welcome to another episode of Wayward Somethings Podcast, the podcast where me, Joelle, and my friend Rachel talk about the television show Supernatural, which is a masterpiece of television history. You're going to join our conversation already in progress. Lucky you.
There, I'm recording.
Amazing.
I have zoomed.
I'm so proud of you. I've never been more proud of you.
You better be proud of me.
Oh,
Are you
man.
prouder than the time I started to use soap?
That tops them all, probably. I think that laundry just has soap in it. Why do I have to add soap?
I don't know why I thought that. Hey, I learned.
You did learn.
Now I add lots of soap.
Possibly too much.
Probably. That's why I put it on extra rinse every time.
Yeah.
My friend Patrick told me he washes his clothes 3 times. He said the first time he uses a bunch of soap, and then the next 2 he just washes with water and makes sure it's rinsed.
That's so excessive. You guys are wasting so much water.
Just want my stuff to be clean.
It doesn't have to be that clean. What are you doing?
Oh no, like sometimes there's sunscreen and stuff in it that doesn't want to come out very well. And then I hate it when it smells like sunscreen when it comes out the wash. Like, no, this
nice smell.
No, it doesn't. I don't like it.
Well, then don't wear so much sunscreen and stop killing the planet with your excessive laundry.
It's all right. The water gets recycled. It evaporates up into the air and then comes down again as rain.
No, it just disappears.
No.
It's gone forever.
No. There is no new water. It's all recycled.
No. We're running out. There's no new water because we're running out.
It goes back up in the air and then comes rain down. Yes.
I don't think there's any science to prove that.
Well, I think there actually is.
Agree to disagree, okay? I am entitled to my opinion.
You are, but that's how it works.
No. No.
I
don't. I refuse to accept that.
Well, you'll just, I don't know. Guess you don't have to accept it. It's still how it is.
Rachel, do you want to talk about the television show Supernatural?
Oh my gosh, do I ever?
I'm so excited to talk to you today about episode 3.
Dead in the Water.
Dead in the Water. This wasn't the episode I thought it was.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was like the one at the hotel where there's like that ghost and the little girl and whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
What?
There's like this abandoned hotel and it's a mom and a little girl like living there. And then there's this like little girl ghost that tries to drown her kid.
I don't remember this one.
We'll get to it.
Sure this is a Supernatural?
I am positive. I'm a Supernatural expert, madam. I have a podcast devoted to Supernatural, so I think you'll find.
Because
I know.
I've been rewatching the whole series, like, in addition to rewatching it with you, I'm also rewatching it on the side, and I'm already in season 5, and I have not seen anything that resembles this.
You definitely have. And if I had working internet right now, I would look it up and I would prove you wrong because it definitely exists.
Is it before season 5?
Yeah, it's an early one.
Well,
it's like season 2, I think.
I guess you're not doing a very good job of describing it.
I probably am not, but still, as a Supernatural expert, Rachel, you should be able to identify any episode based on like 3 words. And if you use 3 words to describe this episode, what would they be?
Child Ghost Lake.
Child Ghost Lake. I think that's pretty good.
It's pretty accurate.
Keywords. Yeah.
Yes.
So, what's the premise of this episode?
Yes. People are drowning in this lake, and it's kind of weird because it's, I guess more drownings than the usual. And Sam and Dean decide to go check it out. Oh, also, they don't find any bodies ever. So people are drowning and they don't find them after, and it's kind of weird.
That is quite weird.
Which it seems to me, I mean, I'm not an expert on lake drownings, but is it normal to always find them?
I've no idea. I've never drowned in a lake, nor have I looked for a body in a lake.
Because it just seems like it would be really hard to recover someone. Like, you can't see through the water.
Yeah.
So they're dragging it, but they can't really see what they're doing. So, I don't know. That doesn't seem all that implausible to me.
Well, Dean certainly thinks it is implausible.
Okay.
He tries to convince Sam to go. And Sam actually, they have that whole same argument again.
But they do, yeah. Trail for Dad's getting cold.
What is the trail for their dad?
I really don't know, because if it's the book, it's a bad trail.
They got that one thing from, that one location where they went to go get the Wendigo, but what happened?
I think that was the trail, and now it's cold, because they didn't know what to do after that.
So it's not going cold, it is cold.
It wasn't even a trail, it was like a single point.
Yeah.
Or there were 2 points, I guess,
Yeah.
The lady, and then
right,
the Wendigo, and I guess it's a trail. 2 points can make a trail.
Yeah. Dean should know all of his dad's contacts or whatever, right? If John's been in contact with any other hunters, you would think.
That's the weird thing, is as the show goes on, we find out that their dad didn't tell them a lot of stuff.
So, yeah,
he didn't even tell them about vampires, for crying out
loud. That is pretty great, that they're like, there's no such thing as vampires. Those are all yeah, I love, that's sort of the trajectory of the show, that it's like, there's no such thing as vampires. Oh, I guess there are things such as vampires. There's no such thing as angels. Oh, I guess there are actually angels. There is no God. No, wait. He's over here. His name's God.
His name's not God, though.
No, but I didn't want to spoil it.
Let's not spoil it.
His real name, but for anybody listening to this,
we won't spoil it.
Yeah, we won't spoil.
Yeah. Oh, I also like how, this episode and the last one, for sure, they mentioned demon as a possible culprit.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. It seems like they haven't actually ever fought a demon, but they keep mentioning a demon as a thing it might be.
Yeah, they really always go to demon. Because, I guess, they know Yellow Eyes, and that's, their main antagonist.
But they don't even know he's a demon until, a few episodes from now.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. They do mention demon, and I feel like, I don't remember what the first episode they actually go against a demon is. Is it in the first season?
Yeah, I think it is.
So, and I feel like they're pretty unprepared to actually handle a demon, compared to, how they are towards the end, where they just, have all of these tricks.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever actually fought a demon, but they keep mentioning a demon as a thing it might be. Which I thought was interesting.
The thing that I found, we're sort of skipping around, the description of the plot, but, what I found kind of interesting in this episode is that they consider the possibility of it being, a monster, a sea monster.
Yes.
They take that possibility very seriously. So they must, they don't believe in vampires, but they believe that Nessie is real.
Yep.
So I thought that was strange.
I don't know why they think the things they think.
Neither do I. It's a mystery.
Anyway. So, yeah.
They go to Vancouver, Wisconsin, and just looks like Vancouver.
I don't.
Um,
I've never seen Vancouver, so I can't really say.
just like Google it. Looks like that. So I like at the beginning of the episode, the brother of the girl, they're like giving each other a hard time,
Yes,
and he's like, guys don't like girls that work out, and she's
I
like,
know.
girls don't like guys that still get home. They're both clearly like 35.
And
They don't look like teenagers at all.
they definitely don't. But also, he told her. He said that guys don't like girls who are buff, and she was
Yeah.
pretty freaking skinny.
Yeah, she was not buff.
She wasn't, she was definitely very slender.
And you're not gonna get like, she's not going to pump iron. She's going swimming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was very uneducated of him.
Yeah, I mean he dies too. Spoiler alert. So good for that ghost. That guy. Killing that idiot guy who had like the most early 2000s-y kind of hair. Like it was like greased sort of downwards.
I like
You know what I'm
Sam.
talking about? No, Sam, more like Dean, but Dean's is all poked up. But guys used to do
Dean's
that.
is
They would
poked
put, like, which again, like looks like he spends a lot of time on it for a guy that doesn't care.
Yes.
Definitely spends a lot of time on that hair. No, but like brushing it down towards your forehead, that was definitely a thing.
Yeah.
Guys did that.
Oh yeah, and speaking of 2000s looks, the first scene we see of Sam and Dean in this show, in this episode, that waitress, super 2000s.
Very 2000s. And like so much makeup, and that shirt is like ridiculous.
So much makeup. Oh, I'm playing the show now. That girl's wearing a tracksuit.
Yeah. How cold do you think that water is that she's jumping in?
Pretty freaking cold for Vancouver, Wisconsin, man. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So yeah, she gets in the water.
Mhm.
And she's practicing swimming, I guess, in a bikini, which
Yeah, it doesn't seem like competitive swimwear.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a competitive swimmer. Maybe they like to casually practice in bikinis, but as someone who has worn two pieces and one pieces, I think if you're swimming laps, you're gonna want the one piece. You don't want weird stuff happening.
Yeah, definitely. Like being drowned by a ghost in a lake, that kind of weird stuff.
Mhm. So she's swimming, she's doing her thing. She's probably freezing cold.
Mhm.
And then yeah, man, something comes up from under, grabs her,
Pulls her down.
pulled her down, and then they do the whole slow-mo thing where they show the bubbles in slow-mo.
Yeah.
And then after they zoom out and they show the lake and they do that supernatural sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do the sound. I don't know how many episodes they do it in, but they do it in a lot of them.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like sort of like a metal door closing, but like someone slamming a metal door. I don't know. It's difficult to describe.
Do you think that I don't know, maybe they use like a string instrument and just a real quick like
Yeah, but there's like a crack at the end.
Man, I don't know. I don't know how they made that sound. So now it's cutting to the restaurant, and Dean's trying to flirt with the waitress because he's not beat down by the world yet.
So Dean in that scene is sort of like kind of giving Sam a hard time for not wanting to flirt with the waitress too. It kind of seems like.
Yep.
Like, I know your girlfriend died like 2 weeks ago, but
I know, right? And I think he figures out that he's being a jerk, so he's like, okay, talk about the case.
Oh, another thing that happens in the restaurant is Dean's giving Sam a hard time for going to college. Like,
Yep.
That's a typical thing that people in television and movies do, is give people a hard time for going to college.
Hey man, why'd you go to
It
college?
seems a bit weird. Yeah, why'd you go to college?
Why'd you go to
I
college?
mean, I went to college. You went to college. We both went to college.
We did both go to
College.
college. Yep. Went to school, man.
But Dean says, like, he was out working with Dad while you were going to pep rallies at college. Do you have pep rallies at college? We had those in high school.
I don't think so. I think that just shows how much Dean doesn't know about college.
Yeah, Dean knows nothing about college.
Right.
No college.
He
That's
doesn't
what they
know.
call him.
He doesn't know, man. So then we
Yeah.
get to see them driving in their car for a few seconds.
The compositing when they're driving in the car isn't, like, great. I'm just noticing, like, maybe it's because I'm watching on, like, an HD TV, but it looks weird.
Yep.
It looks like an... Also, I noticed, like, the filming in the first, like, few seasons is really dark. Like, it's just heavily saturated.
It's
you know what I
super
mean?
dark.
Just color-wise.
I think
Yeah.
that isn't...
Color-wise, it looks really, like, gray and blue.
It does. They want to show that, like, hey man, this is horror. This is a dark show. Dark things happen.
Spooky.
There are a couple episodes where they show it a lot brighter. Like the one where with the trickster where they're in the game show and all.
But that's what I'm
bright.
saying is, like, as the show goes on, it gets way brighter.
But it's still dark because, like, in that
just
episode,
in general,
it's super bright, and then it goes back to them like in a normal way, and then it gets dark all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's like, phew. It might.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
I think it's always got
right
some
in that
kind
one,
of...
but I do think just, like, wrong.
I think it's always got
Especially
some
when
kind
they
of
get
a
to
dark tint.
When they get to the bunker, though, I don't feel like the bunker is that dark usually. I feel like...
I guess we'll find out.
I just feel like the later seasons are sort of brighted up. Like, this season especially, super dark.
It's super dark. I guess, I don't know, I didn't really notice it brightening up, but now I'm going to pay attention.
Yeah, we'll just, as we watch through the next 27 years of this show, we'll probably notice all kinds of things.
I think so they're setting the tone, though. It's a dark thing, man.
Yeah, they are setting the tone. Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. I just, like, it really struck me as I was watching her, like, swim in the lake and stuff, like, how different it looks. It's shot very differently in the first season, I think. So they go to investigate this drowning.
They say they're with the wildlife service.
Yeah.
And they don't look the part.
It's also just not, like, a good cover for do wildlife service people investigate things? Like, go around and question family members and, like, question sons and stuff?
I have no idea what they do.
It doesn't seem like a real good cover. But, yeah. Yeah, because they start following around that chick from Firefly when she shows up at the police office. Because that's her dad, police officer.
That's her dad.
That's her dad, and she has a child who has gone through a traumatic experience and has stopped speaking.
Yep.
And Dean tries to be all friendly with the child.
Yes.
But there's one part, like, right after... So they get her to walk them to the nearest hotel. And...
It's, like, right there.
He's trying to pick her up, and she puts him down pretty, thoroughly.
She does. It was pretty rough.
And
kids are the best.
Kids are the best. And then Sam says, "Name 3 children you know." That seems like such a weird thing to ask someone. Rachel, name 3 children.
I could, but to preserve their identities on this super popular podcast, I do.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I actually do know a lot of children.
Our audience is gonna... I know at least 3 children, but it still feels like a weird question. Also, like, do they have cousins? Do Sam and Dean have... They had cousins later on when Samuel comes back to life. That's skipping ahead. Like, Aren't some of those people their cousins?
I don't even.
That's skipping like way ahead.
I don't even remember. Maybe from I don't
But I'm
know.
just wondering, Mary wasn't an only child, I don't think.
She wasn't?
And I'm not sure if John was. I was pretty sure that Mary had like a sibling. Maybe I'm misremembering.
I don't remember it all. Either way, that's why we're watching this again.
Okay. I'm just saying they could have nieces and nephews out there.
Man, I don't know. They could. We're gonna find out later.
Yeah. I don't think we do, actually. I think we find out if they have cousins, but we don't really find out if they have nieces and nephews.
No.
Oh, poor guy.
Kids are the best.
So, kids are the best, aren't they?
Oh.
So then we get to like our next death in this episode, right?
Yes, it's the son. He's trying to be a good son, and he's making his dad.
He's making his dad a dinner of like 10 fish and nothing else.
Hey, maybe he had other things he was gonna cook too. He was just starting on the fish first.
Yeah, but there's so many fish. I guess maybe he just went fishing, and that's what's implied because it's like a whole fish.
Yeah,
that he's
I mean,
gutting on the.
they live by the lake, I guess.
I guess you could get fish whenever you wanted.
I mean, I did notice though. I guess it's just from all the, we were talking about the weird filming with how dark it is. Like their house just looks so depressing.
Yeah, it's a depressing house. That's true.
It just doesn't look great.
I think that they're trying to like set the mood of that guy, Bill Carlton or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like the third depressing house we've had 3 weeks in a row.
A lot of depressing homes in this show.
And then they go eventually, skipping ahead, they go to visit a woman whose son went missing, and her house is also dark and depressing.
It's all dark and depressing.
Yeah, it's all dark and depressing.
So this kid's making his dad some lunch, and it's not super pleasant to watch because he's preparing the fish.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, I know some people like to fish and then eat their fish. But it just does not look fun.
To cut up a fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't imagine it's fun. I really like fish, though. So
I love fish.
If I had to cut up a fish in order to eat fish, I probably would.
Ooh.
I could go for some fish right now.
Fish sounds really good. You want to go get sushi?
We live 1,000 miles apart.
Oh, well. Scratch that. Thank you. So he's cutting up the fish, and then the sink starts doing some weird stuff.
Yeah, it's bubbling up with all this gross water.
It's super gross. And you know what? This dude doesn't even really think twice. He just sticks his hand in there.
I imagine, like, maybe this kind of stuff has happened before. If they're getting water from the lake, maybe there's all kinds of problems that's going on. But he sticks his hand in there and he pulls out the cork, the plug at the bottom of the sink. But then he sticks his hand back in there. What's he reaching for?
He doesn't know. He just thinks something's plugging it up, which I'm not really sure why, because you saw the water bubbling the heck up out the drain. Like, obviously it's not plugged.
And I don't think you could, like, reach your hand fully down the drain to get whatever is in there. So at that point, you would go and get, like, a snake or, like, a plunger or something.
I mean,
So
I don't know. I know that you're going to need to take care of the sink, but if it was me and it was bubbling up all that nasty water, I definitely wouldn't be so quick to just stick my hand in it.
Especially if I was in the middle of preparing food.
I would just be a little freaked out by that. Maybe that's because I watch shows like this.
Yeah, you learn to question that sort of occurrence.
But, yeah, so he sticks his hand in there, pulls out the plug, nothing happens, so he sticks his hand in again, and surprise, surprise, something grabs him and pulls his head down in there.
I kind of like the way that this is shot, where they're like showing his reaction from the bottom of the sink.
Yeah,
kind
that
of
was
angle.
kind of cool.
It was kind of cool.
That was kind of cool.
It's sort of weird though that when his son dies in the sink,
Yep.
the police don't arrest Bill Carlton for murdering his son. Like, they don't believe that a ghost did it. And there's literally no other way that someone could drown in a sink other than someone holding him on.
It's true. Maybe because he's friends with the dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably just a corrupt cop.
Which he is.
Yeah.
But also, public service announcement. Notice that the dude is just sitting in the very next room while his son drowns. All right, I've heard that drowning is very quiet. You think there's going to be a lot of slashing and a lot of noise, but it's very quiet. So watch your children in the pool.
Very good. Everyone listening. Everyone, our millions of people who listen to this podcast. Be sure and watch your children in the pool.
Watch them in the pool. It's quiet.
Yeah, I would be scared. I've gone swimming with all of the children I know, and I'm always really hyper concerned. I'm gonna be a helicopter parent if I ever have kids. I'm gonna
Oh my
be like,
gosh.
there's too many things out there that are bad that can hurt them.
So many things.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. So the dude drowns.
Yep. He drowns.
In the kitchen sink. Dad's
Mhm.
not arrested.
Nope. Is this the point where they go to continue to question the son that they have, the little boy that they have no real reason as wildlife?
They
Cool.
actually go to talk to the dad and he tells them to go away.
Right. I think that guy that played that dad, Bill Carlton, I think he's a pretty good actor. I feel like he did a really good job in this. Just so we have something positive to say about this episode.
He sold it pretty well. Yeah.
He did sell it really well. He wasn't overdoing it at all.
And then they go and talk to the kid.
Yeah. And that's like the mom is standing there watching this wildlife service employee talk about something that killed his mom, and he's just saying a bunch of weird stuff.
He is saying a bunch of weird stuff.
And she's pretty tolerant.
But I think at this point she's kind of had it with the kid not saying anything.
Yeah.
And she can kind of tell he's listening, so she's like, well, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, he seems to like Dean, so maybe that's why she's a little bit more tolerant of it. And maybe she is a little bit more receptive to the idea that something weird is going on.
I think she is. No one drowns, and then all of a sudden everyone drowns.
Yeah.
In weird ways.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's traumatic to watch your dad drown, and the kid was stuck on a platform watching his dad drown, and then he was stuck out there for like 2 hours.
That's a long time.
And that's traumatic, true, but it also seems like he's sort of extra traumatized, maybe not possessed, but he's not talking because there's some other force sort of at work.
Yeah, man.
And then so the dad of the two children that have drowned, the two 35-year-olds that have drowned, decides to go out on his boat.
Yep.
The boat crash scene is again really terrible CGI. I think probably just limitations of the time and their budget, whatever, but it looks sort of like...
It looks wild, man. That boat goes up high.
Goes up really high. But yeah, it doesn't look very convincing. But anyway, the thing is, the police officer, after the boat crashes and Bill Carlton dies, the police officer threatens to arrest Sam and Dean for something they could not possibly have had a part in. But he was fine with letting his friend be potentially murdering his son.
Well, he, he's a little corrupt.
This guy's all over the place.
Also, he's probably freaking out because, He says that they're crazy and it couldn't be a ghost, but also maybe he's wondering just a little bit, like,
You think like his guilt maybe is there? You think like I got kind of the impression that he had buried that memory and hadn't really thought about that kid that he killed when he was a child.
probably.
What
Probably
was
tried.
What was the kid's name?
Peter.
So yeah, so there was. Oh, okay. No, wait. Let's wait. There's something that I want to talk about when we get to find out more about Peter.
Okay.
But Sam and Dean are convinced to like leave town because the cop is like, I'm gonna arrest you for pretending to be wildlife service people.
Yep.
And I like the bit where so the car pulls up to the stoplight and the camera sort of like it's at the back of the car and then it sort of swings around to the passenger side window. I like that. I thought that was nicely shot.
I don't remember this.
Well, I take detailed notes of every episode of Supernatural I watch.
Well, hey, you know what I noticed?
What?
They introduced themselves as wildlife service, Ford and what was it? Ford and Hamill.
Ford and Hamill.
And then the kid's name is Lucas.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Connections all over the place.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that. Usually they give like rock icon kind of names.
A lot of times it's Rock Icon. Yep.
Yeah.
This time they went with the Star Wars.
I didn't pick up on that. Anyway, yeah, I thought that looked good. That was good. Whatever.
I'm watching it now.
Oh, is it happening?
So it's zooming in the back and then you're right. Yeah.
Cool, right?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Oh, a little fancy. Oh, some fancy work.
Fancy work. And so Dean then decides, even though that they've been told that they might be arrested if they come back to town, he decides to go back because he thought Lucas was acting scared when they last saw him at the police station.
Yep.
I
mean, he did act pretty freaked out.
He did act pretty freaked out. It didn't seem like more freaked out than he normally was.
Oh no, because normally he just kind of stood there, but this time he was like tugging on his arm, you know, like he was trying to tell him something, but he doesn't talk, so he can't tell him something.
That's true. That is true. Then we cut to Lucas and his mom's house.
Yep.
Actually, that's their dad's house too, the police officer.
Yeah.
But he's not there for some reason. He's working late.
He's working late, and, she's drawing herself a nice bath.
That bath is so full.
I know. She let it fill the heck up, and then she still let it fill. Like, she wasn't turning it on. She just laid down it and started taking her bath. And
what was that?
And she's kind of like scrubbing herself with the washcloth that doesn't have any soap or anything in it. Just like, what are you doing, lady?
I think maybe the water is like hot and that would feel good, but
maybe. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't scrub myself in a bath. I sit in a bath. And then when I'm done the bath, then I scrub myself in a shower.
Yeah, that's how I take a bubble bath and then I shower.
I don't know. It seems kind of weird to scrub yourself in the bath.
Yeah, that's true. That's just your own juice.
It's not getting rinsed away or anything. So, Anyway, so she's kind of taking her bath where she's scrubbing herself with a not soapy washcloth.
Yeah.
And the water starts turning colors. And it looks kind of cool. You can see the dark water creeping up on her.
Yeah, that looks cool.
And she hasn't noticed because she's taking her bath and her eyes are closed.
She's having a nice relaxing bath. Love a nice relaxing bath.
I love it too. And the tub's getting full.
Very full.
And then she opens her eyes and sees the water turn dark. And she's like, what the heck?
That would freak me out so much if I wasn't in a nice bath and then like the water is just mud. Ugh.
Yep, that would be weird. Wouldn't like that. Nope.
Yeah, I have a question, Rachel, for you. A hypothetical.
Okay.
Hypothetically, if she had put bath salts in her bath, would the ghost be able to get her?
I think it would not.
So that's another PSA to all our many listeners. Always take a bath with bath salts so ghosts can't kill you.
I always take a bath with Epsom salt.
That's nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Soothing.
Yes. Because
I
my
take a bath
body is old and achy.
I just use like a lavender bubble bath. That's really,
Ooh,
really
mine's lavender too, but it's lavender Epsoms.
lavender is just the best. It's the best scent, in my opinion. I know it's like an old lady scent or whatever, but it's just good.
Because those old ladies know what's up.
Exactly. They've got all that life experience. They know what the best things for bath and candles and whatever.
They sure the heck do. Anyway, so she taking her bath, and she didn't use her bath salts, so the ghost comes.
The ghost comes and tries to drown her, and exactly like that minute, Sam and Dean sort of show up.
It seems like she was in there a really long time, though.
Yeah, it did kind of seem like that. The timing of this whole sequence, I'm not sure.
It had to have been just right.
Because it had her like fully under the water.
I mean,
She would have drowned.
She was drowning, man.
Yeah.
Guess she held her breath a really long time.
But the little boy Lucas knows what's going on, and he like runs to get Sam and Dean just as they show up.
At least he knows how to open that door. Notice he doesn't open the bathroom door. He just pounds on it.
I think she might have locked it. I would have locked it.
Yeah. Would have probably locked it.
Bathroom doors don't have very strong locks on it. Because in a minute, after Sam and Dean arrive, Dean breaks down that door.
That's true. It must have been locked.
It must have been locked.
Unless he just didn't try to unlock it. I don't think he did. I don't
Broke
think he
the
tried
door.
the knob. He just ran up and kicked the door down.
Because it looks cool when you kick a door down, and he wanted to look cool.
There was one episode, I think, where he was about to kick a door down, and Sam was like, "Whoa, wait," and he tried the knob and it opened. Like, dude, you don't have to always kick the door in. They kick the door in, and Sam goes to pull her out of the tub, and Dean waits with the kid, even though it does look like Sam could have used some help.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like he could have used some help.
He definitely seems to struggle.
He's struggling, man. That ghost was strong.
That was a strong ghost, yeah.
Anyway, but somehow Sam pulls her out all on his own, no thanks to Dean. And
then she's fine.
She's a little freaked out.
But she's not drowned.
She's not drowned. She was just kind of like, what the heck?
Yep. And then it's sunrise. Some time passes. Sam and Dean are still there, and it's sunrise now, so they must have been there for hours.
I know.
And Sam is talking to the lady. I forget.
Yes.
Firefly chick. I don't know what her name is in the show. Andrea, I think, is the name of her character in the show.
Yes, Andrea.
And while Sam is talking to her, Dean's looking through old photo albums. And this is what I wanted to point out, is that if you look, so Dean finds like a picture of Andrea's dad, the police officer, as a Boy Scout, and Peter and Bill are both there in the picture as kids. But if you look at that picture in the background, there's a little boy doing like a full yawn with like his arms out and everything, and it's adorable.
I didn't notice that.
I saw it and I had to like rewind it to make sure I saw what I actually saw. It's really cute.
That sounds about right.
And then the little boy Lucas leads them out to where a bicycle is buried.
Yep.
And that's Peter's bicycle.
It is Peter's bicycle. It's the bicycle he drew in his drawing.
Yeah, that's true. Lucas had been drawing that bicycle several times, I think.
And then Sam and Dean dig up the bike. And right after they dig it up, Daddy comes home.
And points a gun at him.
And he's like, what, the chickens?
What the chickens? And so they flat out accuse him of killing Peter. Does he confess right away? I don't think he does.
No, not till Andrea confronts him.
Yeah. Andrew runs out to make sure that her dad doesn't murder anybody.
Again.
Anybody else, I should say. And then he confesses that him and Bill killed Peter by holding his head under the water in the lake.
And it sounds like it was an accident, except, I mean, they were holding his head under the water, so.
Yeah, it's an accident, but it's also, like, that's manslaughter, at least.
They were, pretty sure they knew they shouldn't have been doing stuff like that.
Yeah. And
they bullied him.
Yeah, he go on and bullying them.
I don't know why that kid hung out with them.
Well, you remember what it's like when you're a little kid.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're friends with people that are mean to you because you just don't understand that you can be friends with people that are nice to you. Like, it seems like, especially when you're in a limited sort of friend group.
Yeah.
Like a
little lake town.
Yeah, a small little lake town. Then you are maybe more afraid of being lonely than you are of being bullied.
Shoot.
Yeah.
That's
sad.
deep.
It's deep and it's sad. Poor Peter.
Poor Peter, man. So they drowned him.
Yeah, they drowned him, and then they let his body go in the lake, which is unfortunate because, as we have not yet seen in this show, but yeah, we haven't gotten to this yet.
Oh, you're right.
The way to deal with a ghost is to dig up the bones and salt and burn them.
Yes.
But there's no body to burn because the lake, it's just down there in the lake.
It's down there in the lake somewhere.
So, okay, all the people that drowned in the lake, their bodies disappeared. But Peter didn't get that son, the guys don't like buff girls guy. Get that body.
He didn't get that body, no. He took what he could get. And I guess he did try to do the same with Andrea.
Yeah. And she heard a voice saying, "Come play with me."
She did. That was super creepy.
And then Lucas hears that same voice.
Lucas hears it while they're all having their confrontation down by the dug-up bike.
And he goes down to the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And where a creepy ghost boy drags him in.
Yep. I mean, if you were a child and you heard a creepy disembodied voice say, "Come play with me,"
I would cry.
I mean, I don't think I'd go try to find it.
But if this like spirit had been sort of communicating with you for a while, and you were sort of not in your right mind because you're traumatized about watching your dad die.
Yes.
Then maybe.
Maybe. He knows the spirit.
Yeah.
He knows the
It's some stranger spirit, and that's the thing to look out for.
That's
stranger
right.
danger.
That's right. It's not stranger danger.
Mm-mm.
It's known danger. So he goes down to the lake.
Sam and Dean jump in the lake, like, with their leather jackets on and everything, I think.
Yeah, they do, man. There's no time. The kid's drowning.
But, the police officer sees the creepy ghost boy, and finally he, like, believes that there is actually a ghost going on.
Yep, he recognized that creepy child.
Yeah. I murdered you, didn't I? Didn't I murder? You look familiar. Did I murder you at some point?
Shoot.
And, while Sam and Dean are trying to get Lucas out of the water, and again, Lucas is in the water for a extremely long period of time.
He is in there a long time. Him and his mom have crazy large lungs. I'm telling you. They're excellent breath holders.
But then the police officer decides to go into the lake and, like, offer himself up as a sacrifice so that he can get Lucas back.
He does. He kind of redeems himself.
He kind of redeems himself, and Peter comes up and grabs him and pulls him down, and you see him going. It's kind of a cool shot of him.
It is
going
cool.
Down to the bottom of this.
He's waving his arms and.
Yeah, it kind of at the end looks like he's, like, literally waving his hand goodbye, like
bye. Oh my gosh. Oh, and then they find Lucas.
Yeah, and then Lucas pops back up, and he's fine.
He doesn't pop up. Dean resurfaces with him.
Oh, okay.
It's very dramatic.
I think they used that scene. There's a lot of clips from this episode where I feel like they've used that.
In fan-made, music videos.
Yeah.
There's one. It's definitely in the I Need a Hero.
Oh, man, remember we used to listen to that? It was like the Bonnie Tyler song.
Yes.
Holding Out for a Hero with clips of Supernatural.
That's an
man.
excellent video. One of the best.
It is one of the best videos of all time.
Yep,
Next
but they use that clip because it is very dramatic.
The sexy back toothbrush. Remember that?
How could I forget?
Now I want to go look for that. And see
Oh my gosh. Also one of the best.
Oh, very much so. Okay, so anyway, they save the little boy.
They do.
And I don't know how much longer they're in town, but as they're getting ready to leave town, Lucas is speaking again.
Backed up. He and his mom bring them lunch for the road, and the plate they bring them is giant.
It's a very big... Well, they're giant men. They probably eat a lot of sandwiches.
I mean, it was a lot of food. It was a platter.
It was a platter.
And you're supposed to eat that on the road?
I think that there were fruits in there too, maybe?
There probably was fruit and cake and everything. It was a huge plate.
Dean does this adorable thing when he grabs the platter. He bends down like it's really heavy.
Yeah, it was cute.
Very cute. But anyway, that's when we find that Lucas is now able to talk again.
Yes. And Sam tells Dean they're not going to save everyone.
That's true.
We need to start keeping track of who says to who, because I feel like later on in the show, Sam tells Dean, you would tell me that we can't save everyone. But I don't know. Does Dean actually say it? We're going to find out.
Dean seems very much in the camp of we have to save everyone.
Yep.
I mean, Sam is more practical than Dean.
Yep. He did go to college.
He did go to college, boy.
He learned logical thinking, like letting some die.
That's what they teach you at Stanford.
That is absolutely what they teach you at Stanford.
You gotta let some die.
You gotta let some die, so you can save the rest. You can save the children and attractive women.
And Andrea's outfit in that scene, speaking of early 2000s fashion, it's incredibly ugly. That shirt with the puff sleeves, the gathered
puffs, and I'm just
it's
thinking
got,
about
a pattern on it, and then her belt is also very early 2000s ugly belt.
I can just feel the discomfort of those gathered elasticy sleeve ends on my arms.
They were not comfortable shirts to wear.
Uncomfortable. And then you take them off, you got these lines on your arms.
Yeah.
She probably doesn't, because her arms are super skinny.
Yeah.
But
no, she's too
us
skinny
normal sized folk, we can have lines on our arms. Anyway,
that's the end of the episode.
No. She gives Dean a kiss.
Oh, she does give Dean a kiss.
And he seems like he's not sure what to do about it, so he tells Sam to hurry up and get in the car.
Maybe he's never been kissed before.
I don't think that's true.
That was his first kiss, Rachel.
We know it's not. Because we see a flashback in a later season of him making out with this girl in the closet at school.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
In high school. High school flashback.
High school flashback. High School Dean, by the way, we're not there yet, but the casting for High School Dean was perfect.
It was excellent. And for, high school Sam, or however old he was.
He was middle school, early high school kind of Sam.
It was also excellent.
Yeah,
very, very kind of mopey,
I like that they've had the same hair forever.
I was just thinking that they both, had the same hair. I mean, I guess some people go through life with the same hair.
Yeah, I guess so.
I definitely have not.
Nope. Mine hasn't been the same color from one year to the next. or the same length, or the same style.
But I guess, it's more just for us, for fun,
Yeah, that's true.
so that we can see them. And be like, oh yeah, that is little Sam.
It's like little baby Sam.
That is young Dean.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I know we're getting ahead ourselves, but how did their dad even keep registering them for school when they didn't have, like, all their documentation in order?
Well, I mean, he is an identity thief. That's canon, so probably identity theft.
I don't know. I mean, I guess they've got their birth certificates, but it just seems like it's harder than that nowadays to enroll your kids in school.
Yeah, it seems like it would be harder, but I imagine he just like forged things and forced it. And we don't really know like how often they were moving around, like how many schools they went to. They probably say at some point.
I mean, how did Sam even test well enough to get into college moving around that much?
He is so smart. He's like the smartest.
I guess. I mean, how do you even learn anything in 2 weeks at one place?
That's true. But the thing is, like, he's also not that smart. He makes so many stupid decisions in this show.
There are a lot of stupid smart people.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh,
But Sam, I feel like Dean makes better decisions than Sam does a lot of the time.
well, I guess that's part of the stereotype, right? Book smart versus street smart.
Yeah, that's true. True. So wait, do they have like a little talk in the car about their feelings?
No, I think they really just drive off this time.
Yep.
They had their talk about their feelings and finding their dad at the beginning of the episode.
That's true. They got that out of the way right out of the gate.
And it doesn't happen again. It's just about the job.
So, and then the next episode is going to be the plane episode.
Really? Oh, yeah. Yes.
You like that one?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting choice of an episode to like. I think it's a middling episode for me.
I think it's funny because Dean's so scared of flying.
That is true. Scared Dean is funny, Dean.
Oh, we have to rate how scary this episode is.
So how scary was this episode? Our scale, for those of you just joining us, is from 1 to oh my stars. This is what Rachel's mom used to say when we watched the show together. Anytime anything scary would happen, she'd say, oh my stars.
I'm gonna give it a 2. It wasn't that scary for me. And it gets a 2 and not a 1 for the one creepy part where the kid sticks his head above the water. That was super creepy, and that was kind of it for me.
I fully agree, actually. This is not a very scary episode. That kid did look super creepy, so it's not like totally without scares. But yeah, I would say like a 1.5 or 2.
Yeah, it only gets that 1 point for that one scene, which is pretty creepy. But
and also there's a kid in it, Lucas. As I've established, kids are scary, so maybe I should give it like a 2.5.
But yeah, it's not that scary, watching the Wendigo one, if I were to go out camping after that, I would probably be watching my back.
But we rated the Wendigo one way higher than this one.
No, that one would scare me. That scared me. But yeah, this one, like, if I go take a bath right now, I'm not afraid that child's gonna come drag me down.
And I kind of rate these based on trying to remember how I felt the first time I watched it.
It's hard to remember, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't remember this one being too scary.
I don't think this one did. I don't think this one scared me.
Okay. Oh, actually, thinking about it, we were just talking about when they see a demon for the first time. It's next week.
You're right.
Spoiler alert, the plane one is about a demon.
Man, okay, yeah, you're right. I was thinking it was going to be the girl, but no, it's this one.
No. Meg?
Yep. Spoiler!
Spoiler!
Oh!
Oh. Alright. We did it. We did another discussion of a supernatural episode.
Nice job, and I did my homework this time.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm glad you're proud of me. I'm proud too.
Okay. Cool beans.
Cool beans. Same place, same time next week.
Same place, same time, same show.
Excellent. Different episode?
Different episode, yes.
Okay. Just checking. Gotta make sure I do the right homework.
All right.
Okay. You have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye, darling.
Darling, I'm hanging up now.
Wait, before you go.
What?
How will I find the recording of this?
It should. So as soon as you leave the meeting, it
Yeah.
should start compressing it,
Yeah?
and then you'll have an audio. It'll pop up with an audio file that you can send me.
Cool.
Cool.
Awesome
Sauce.
Okay.
Thank you, Rachel. I'm so glad that you learned how to use Zoom for the first time today.
Me too. Bye, Boo.
Bye, Boo.
Bye, Boo.
Oh my God. Goodbye.
Ah.